There has been a lot of discussion going on regarding whether or not people have antibodies to COVID-19. Antibodies may indicate that someone may have been exposed to the virus without realizing it, or they could signal that you have a potential immunity to it. And now we're hearing more about T cells. T cells are entering the stage here, and we're learning also more about the role that they could play in immunity to the coronavirus. So here to talk more about this is Dr. Michael Rossi. He is the Interim Dean of the University of New Haven's College of Arts and Sciences and the Professor of Cellular and Molecular Biology. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So go ahead. I was going to say, let's start off with the big question. You know, we've heard about the antibody tests, and we know that antibodies are made up of B cells, but what exactly is T cells?
Well, T cells are the other half of the immune system that really allows us to adapt to an infection. And if you think about it, if you can get the entire immune system active, you're going to have a much better response. Now, T cells, as you said, don't make the antibodies like the B cells do. What they do is that they, by helping the B cells, in fact, there's a group called helper T cells that go out and activate the B cells so that they're making more antibody. And they also activate macrophages, which are cells that eat eat the virus. There's also another type of T cells which are really interesting, and that's the killer T cells. And they go into tissues and find cells that are infected and kill those cells. And this is important because an infected cell is making more virus. So by killing it, that cuts down on the amount of virus that the body's making and really shortens the infection period.
So do T cells provide immunity from this virus?
Absolutely. They're part of what we would say is the memory. So the T cell is going to be able to, once activated, stay around and be ready for the next infection. To give you an idea, normally B cells and T cells take 2 weeks to activate, which is why we want to immunize. But once they've been activated, they stay around and then can respond to an infection in a matter of hours or a day, so that they're much quicker the second time. So again, that's why the immunization is so important. It brings both of these things in. And it's really exciting that these new immunizations look like they're activating both the B cells and the T cells, which is fantastic.
A lot of really interesting information. And one last question, we don't have a lot of time, but is there a difference in how T cells respond in children versus adults?
Not that I'm aware of. They should be responding about the same in both.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Doctor, for your time, and we will definitely be looking at the headlines for the latest information on T cells as we learn some more information about this pandemic.
Thank you for having me.